Hey guys, me again. I'm trying out something new to see how well it goes or if it doesn't go well at all or whatever. I decided to do a video in this style to see if it has good, good potential or not. Anyway, here's where I'm at right now. When I started playing Chaos Demons in 40k, which was like the mid 7th edition, I bought a battalion box of demons that brought a whole bunch of assorted units, and among them was these 3 Nerdlings. The funny thing is that the kit makes 3, right? According to what the box says, it builds 3 Nerdlings, but there's a thing. It brings a whole bunch of extra ones that, if you can tell, there's probably some spot here that could be covered up by 1. But what I did was that after I put these 3 bases together, put these here for a second, I made this one out of all of the spares. So I figured, okay, I'll hold on to these little guys. Whatever, they're demons. I have a demon army that I can expand on. Who knows, maybe instead of playing mono, I play unaligned or whatever. And then at some point in my 40k games, I decided that I wanted to play Demon Princes. So I bought a kit. I had bits left over, and I started building Slanesh Princes. But I had things left over, and I decided to make this guy, which is, at most, 4 bits. Because it's the axe, the arm, that's 1 piece, the spike that's in the back, and the head, that's 2 and 3 pieces, and then this arm that I cut at this wrist because I was using the sword on another prince, and I decided that I wanted to not throw this away, so I've been holding on to that, and I made this guy. The rest of the body is hot glue. Hot glue and wooden dowels. It's wood on the inside and melted glue on the outside, and yeah, it looks gnarly because that's, Nurgle. He's supposed to be gnarly looking. And then I saw, fast forward a few years, and I saw the video by, let me see if I find it, the Miniature Hobbyist. And he has a video that shows him making something out of what I thought was not really, or what I never really thought could be a potential material to use. It ends up that you can dissolve the sprue that these things are made out of in 100% acetone. And this cost me about $2, maybe 2 or 3. If you're going to dissolve sprue, you need something to dissolve it in. Honestly, I don't think you'd want to put it in a plastic bottle because that's not really a good choice. So I bought myself a nice little jar. Nice little glass mason jar. This cost me about $2. And you put the sprue in the jar and you cover it with acetone. Like, I had this much cut sprue and I put acetone just so it was a little over it, and then you get this stuff. This nice soft melted sprue. Right? And so in the Miniature Hobbyist video, he explains how he went through the whole process of making a Nurgle Greater Demon, otherwise known as A Great Unclean One, out of this dissolved material. And so I decided that I wanted to try my hand at it, and this is what I came up with. I made this big, chunky boy out of dissolved sprue. The internals are made out of foam because I needed something to hold the sprue up while I was sculpting around it, because this material doesn't really sculpt all that great. But you get the basic frame of what you want, big blocks of foam. You shape it, leg, belly, arms. You want to make sure that you have gaps where you want gaps, and the contours where you want it. And then I started layering the melted dissolved sprue over the body, The head was a pain in the neck because the stuff doesn't really sculpt. I tried making a face, but it really didn't work. So I ended up thinking, well, whatever, just let's cover it up with a shroud. Give him a mask, somewhat of a executioner-ish type look. I mean, Rodriguez has a sack over his head, so, you know, that works. This mace flail was a pain in the neck too, because after I put it together, I realized that it has 7 tips. So I had to take it apart and put it back together, and the bits on the tips are heads from the crypt ghouls, and a couple of corners from some of the 40k terrain pieces. And then everything else that's all slimy looking is just hot glue melted meticulously in the spots. Like, you know, welts and gashes and drips and whatever. And yeah. There's only 2 real bits in here, and it's these 2 pieces that you get from the Demon Prince kit. But everything else is basically foam, sprue. This sword is just dissolved sprue laid flat, made into a sheet, and sanded into the shape of what I wanted to be the bile sword. So yeah, all this from that little jar. So now I have a battalion detachment with a greater demon, a demon prince, and 3 nerdlings. The real question is, what, if anything, could I go for next? I don't know. You guys should probably tell me, right? Well, see ya.